Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Every week, I feel like I open up my laptop and just wonder, like, is this going to be the time that Audacity decides no? Like, it's somehow Audacity is in cahoots with Stephanie Meyer to try and shut down our show.
They're like, actually, Audacity now requires $1,000 fee to access it.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
It is kind of wild how, like, if Audacity was any amount of money, this podcast wouldn't exist.
Oh, there's no way.
It's like,
honestly, even like $1 a month, I'd be like, that's
too much.
Pushing
I don't think we would do this.
This service is being held on like the same UI that like a 1995 website was.
Yeah, this is like Windows.
So, there's no way I'm paying
XP
for this.
Level of energy here. But thank God it was free and still is in 2016, because otherwise this podcast would not exist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason that I barely knew how to use Audacity was because I used LimeWire growing up.
Right.
And they look the same.
They look exactly the same. Yeah. It's exactly the same.
So, how about that? Welcome to Into the Complaining.
Yeah.
About our audio services.
We're getting hostile about a very niche life experience that is us dealing with just a program.
Y'all ever have one-sided beef with the software?
Who among us hasn't? You know?
I feel like more and more lately that's becoming my experience. Not because I'm refusing to grow with technology. It's just they're all bad now.
Right, yeah. It's not us being like back in my day, you know. Like old man yells at cloud, but it's just what if
that's for the other parts of the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the technology.
It's just
part.
we're truthers in the fact that just the internet's bad now, and all the programs are bad. They're worse.
Right. Welcome to Into Twilight.
Ayo.
The special fancy version because it's June. So
hell yeah.
I hope that we updated our image to be fulfilling of rainbow capitalism.
Right, yeah. We are now a corporate pride event.
I mean, to be fair, and this is not to like plug our shit a couple of seconds into the show, but like we do have pride merch year round.
This is true, yeah.
So how about that, you know?
Mic drop.
You know, we don't stop on June 30th. It's year round here.
Right.
That would
we are also literal gay people, so I think
that's true. Yeah, that's true. We don't just like turn it on for June and then stop. Yeah, this podcast is being run on sleepless nights and the fucking bisexual IKEA couch.
Fuck,
so
constantly.
Why don't you just I can't. It will haunt me.
Yeah.
It will haunt me. I will be 80 years old and still talking about that couch.
I've turned around on it. I now want the couch. I do too.
I think
I'm pro the couch now. Growth.
Which is an interesting development, I will say. But you know what? It's fine.
Yeah, just have the little hands grab you while you're sitting down. You know?
No, I try to remember just the pattern and not the hands, because the hands haunt me.
Yeah, the hands are really something.
It's just like, what message are you trying to get across about us? You know? Yeah. Leave it alone.
Just we're grabby. We're grabby.
We're just little toddlers with sticky hands, just trying to get by.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Hi, first of all. How are you?
I'm living La Vida Loca, you know, out here. I want to bring you to another event in the streaming universe, because last time we talked a little bit about it, and I'm naturally watching a lot more streams because I do not have a job, so just that has been a bit of background situation.
Yeah, listen, whatever.
But I want to tell you about a show. I want to tell you about Master Baker And if you ever thought to yourself, what if I wanted to watch The Great British Bake Off, but everyone sucked? This is for you.
Okay.
Had no concept of any baking knowledge at all.
Oh, no.
Like, nothing. And, like, they don't have their phones, and they can't ask for help.
Oh, no. Okay.
So basically the streamer, her name is Cutie Cinderella. She, like, does all these kind of, like, big scale events and stuff like this. Like, she'll do, like, send all these streamers to, like, summer camp and, like, make a live show about it. You know, that kind of shit.
This, first of all, is my nightmare.
Yeah.
So I did do a quick Google
yeah.
of this. Could you explain the photo that I just put in our notes?
Oh, no. Let me see.
Could you, I love it. I don't, but
Fuck.
could you provide some context?
Okay, so this is from season 1. This is from the first season.
Okay, all right.
And they all have just custom aprons with their names on it. And then his name is Slime on the internet.
Sure.
That's his vibe. And he also ended up winning this season. Spoilers.
Yes.
But he did make a custom apron that said Bush did 9/11. Later in the
Amazing.
episode, he made another one that said another streamer had a micro penis. So just like a lot of cool goofs and gaffs going on here. So that's kind of the energy that's happening.
What
but the thing with
year is it on this show?
This is the second year.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a summer.
This is
vibe.
Fantastic.
Yeah. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm here. I'm alive, which I'm going to count as a win.
That's a huge win. Yeah.
I'm to a happy thing that I have been enjoying since I was a kid, which is the original Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Fuck yeah.
I guess I should say the original American version.
Yeah.
So I don't get people confused. This was, for me, as a latchkey kid, when reruns of this came on ABC Family, I knew it was time for bed.
Yeah.
So I would, like, I don't know how my child brain thought, like, oh, I'm going to put this thing on that makes me laugh, but also fall asleep. Whatever.
Sure.
This is all on Max. And I've never really paid attention to it because when I was a kid, I just thought reruns were real, like coming on live, and that's not really how this works.
Sure.
So now I just put it on in the mornings when I'm just vibing and trying to wait for my medicine to kick in, and the show is funny as shit. And I forgot that.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Listen, it definitely has some. I mean, it ran from 98 to 2007, right? So,
yeah.
Rough, first of all. Definitely was impacted by the writer strikes, maybe. But there's some not great things in there. What I will tell you about that brought me a lot of joy rewatching season 1 and now into season 2 is the 98 version of comedy at that time. Sure. There's just a lot more Clinton references than I remember.
Yeah.
And also there was one moment in an episode I watched yesterday where someone in the audience said they were an IT specialist, and Drew Carey had never heard of that before.
Oh my God.
So apparently someone, like, in the crew told him it's information technology, and he was like, what is that? And the woman was like, I work with computers.
Oh my God.
So it's beautiful to watch the world just grow from the past. And also, I feel like the comedy that fucking Colin and Ryan had was instrumental to my youth.
Yeah. I have forgotten how good this show
not pay attention to.
Yeah.
But have on, it's a good one.
Yeah. They got some good goofs and gaffs, you know?
I have not seen the new version. Mainly because my image of these people is from 98. And so having to realize that, like, Colin and Ryan are older now feels very odd to me.
Yeah.
But highly recommended as something that's like an easy breezy laugh.
Yeah. Just like some nice goofs, some fun bits.
Yes.
These are all these guys are my dads. These guys raised a generation.
Absolutely. 100%, yes. it is trying to understand the Max, what's all involved in Max now has been terrifying. But also, you know, there are some gems, which I can appreciate too.
Damn.
Retweet. Yep. We have 2 amazing pieces of current events here. Could you kick us off with some Case 2 Corner?
Pew, 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 pew. We got a Case 2 Corner. Welcome back, everyone. We got a Case 2 casting movie.
This is her 3rd movie announcement this year? 4th?
Yeah, this is her. She's in her I'm gonna be in a movie era. She's like, I'm gonna be in every movie.
I'm gonna get that fucking Oscar era.
Whether you like it or not, okay? And it's from Digital Spy, in which she is going to be in a movie with Josh O'Connor from The Crown. Do not watch The Crown, but I'm sure that man is lovely. And
he played fucking Charles.
Oh my god, look at the parallels. Thematic parallels. And Elle Fanning. Very important.
What the fuck?
And I don't know how to say the title of this movie. Because it seems like 3 different words, but it is 1 word. And that makes my brain... It's 3 words
pushed together, which is scary.
That makes... My brain hates that. It's really not vibing with this. But it is a adaptation of a Italian film from the 60s called Fists in the Pocket. And it seems like kind of a cult classic vibe that seems like will be interesting. I do not know much about this, but...
Me either. Especially because, like, I think it's Rose Bush's Pruning.
Okay.
But because the 3 words, we got rose, we got bushes, and we got pruning, but they're all smushed.
They're scrunched.
I've never heard of this. And apparently, like, the critics, like, said, fuck this movie in 65. But the general public was like, wait a second, this is great.
Yeah.
So I have questions about what's going on here. My initial feeling is it reminds me a little bit of the scary body horror movie that we watched. Like a little spoopy.
Yeah.
But I have questions because now we have this one that she's in, the Stephen Ewan one, RIP.
Yeah.
The in a van traveling California one. And then I feel like there was another one that she's doing that like biopic, right? So that's 4 this year.
Susan Sontag, yeah. Damn.
And we haven't heard about the fucking ghost show.
God, please.
She's trying to bury the news.
I'm on my hands and knees, Kristen. Please.
Maybe pause for a second on these Oscar bait movies and get back to what the public really needs right now, which is a gay movie, a gay show about ghosts. Give it.
Yeah.
Why was that not launched June 1?
God.
Anyways, I mean, I'm proud of her, whatever, but like, you know what we want, Kristen. Where is it? So, best of luck for her. She sounds booked and busy.
Damn.
All right. I'm just going to let you all know. I was okay with not talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Because the woman at the scene of the crime is doing her problematic white woman bullshit right now.
Sure.
However, I think that I'm okay with talking about this because she's the least interesting part of this photo.
Yeah. This is a Renaissance painting. This is the Last Supper, right? This is
100% the Last Supper. Yes.
There is so much material here, living and breathing in this photograph.
So jump scare for you all was at the start of this past week, so a week ago when you're listening to this, I saw a Taylor Swift stan account post a photo, and all I knew when looking at it was I knew Taylor Swift was in it, and fucking Robert was in it.
Yeah.
But now, upon closer inspection, this is a far more engaging photo than I could have possibly ever imagined. And it's haunting. I have more questions than I have answers right now.
They're so...
Theoretically, this happened post concert that evening.
Right.
But it is not just Taylor. And it is not just Robert and Suki, who I think Suki's in the white shorts. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, that is Suki.
Again, sorry to this woman. I don't.
He still cannot remember.
So we've got Taylor, we've got Robert, we've got Suki. We have the tellers. So Miles and his wife, Keely.
Yeah.
Interesting spelling. And I'm going to put a question mark on this in my red string. Steve Carell?
So, okay, there is a guy who looks exactly like Steve Carell here. I am seeing from the quote retweets that it might be Aaron Rodgers.
What the fuck? Those two look nothing alike. Okay, additional piece of information as we're describing a visual on an audio medium.
Yeah.
This photo was taken on a Nintendo DS.
Yeah, it is
because
so
bad.
There are 10 pixels in this image. We are like pulling strings out of nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Now, then I had some questions if it was Steve Carell. Now I have more questions if it's Aaron Rodgers. Because this was definitely post-concert then, because I remember Aaron Rodgers just attended a show.
Yeah.
What the fuck? If you had told me at any point prior to a week ago that Miles, Aaron, Robert, and Taylor had something in common and would be photographed together, I would laugh in your face.
Yeah. Why does Robert always end up with the most chaotic groups of people? Like that fucking photo of him with Death Grips and Beyonce. Like, what the fuck is this guy's energy? Like, what is his pull for, like, to create the weirdest blunt rotations ever? Like, he just walks into them. How does that happen?
Yes. It's gotta be Suki. Suki has to be the master of, like, communication and friends.
Sure.
That's why Taylor's leaning against her with her dogs out. But Robert seems to just have been pulled. It's so scary. But Robert, you could have told me that this was photoshopped because he looks exactly like he did in 2010.
Yeah, and also he's by far
did he come from work in the mines? Why did he not dress up for the show?
Like, and I can't stress enough, everyone in this photograph is blurry, but somehow Robert is the blurriest person in this photo. Like, it looks like a Bigfoot sighting. I don't understand.
It does. It's partially because I think the lighting, like, half of his face is in shadows.
Yeah.
But it's haunting me a little how Oscars-esque this photo is, because why are all these people together right now?
This is the scariest photograph I've ever seen.
I hate it so much. Why did Robert, who obviously knew, like Suki and her people obviously got them to the Eras Tour, why did Robert think, oh, the appropriate outfit for this, after looking at all these fits on Suki's TikTok, is a white shirt that I just pulled out of the laundry and cargo pants? Sir, I know you can do better than this. I have to close this because we haven't even talked about the fact that Madonna's there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not real Madonna.
No.
Julia Garner. What could have been. This is so scary. I need to close this tab because it's like the Mona Lisa is like following me if I look around.
Yeah, it's like all my fucking sleep paralysis demons gathered together and we're like, hey, bestie, we're here. I hate it. It's scary and I don't understand it.
Yeah. But it exists, so we have to reconcile with it.
I will accept that bit, but only that on here.
Yeah.
I need to try to, if I could do the like Eternal Sunshine, I would take that out of my brain first, probably.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't like it. I want to go into our safe haven of Vampire Academy, which is saying something because this is also traumatic and gives me more questions than answers.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What I remember from last week is the gang of Dimitri and Rose and our girl Sydney went to Paris.
Yes. Kentucky,
not Texas or France. And they decided to do a swift little B&E to get Sonia.
Just a nice little friendly B&E.
Yeah, just fully wreck her house.
Yeah. Right. And bring a bunch of chains from Home Depot.
Oh yeah, the chain.
And wrap
all of
around.
the inventory that Home Depot had.
Yeah, not in a threatening or suspicious way.
No.
Of course not.
Tell me about chapter 17. Where do we start off at?
Chapter 17, Sonia she's wrapped up, but she is not talking. Her lips are zipped. Okay.
Valid.
Which honestly, yeah, if someone just came into my home, tied me up, and was like, fuck you, give me answers, I'd be like, no. Also, I'm a Strigoi, I will kill you. Fuck you.
Right, exactly.
So they're all just kind of like waiting it out, you know.
Cool to do with undead people. Let's just wait this out.
Yeah, and just trying to be like, it's asking all these questions that Sonia is not going to respond to outside of just snarling and being like, I will eat you. How dare you?
This is apparently the first time that Rose has ever seen a Strigoi be silent. Like, ever.
Right, yeah.
And she doesn't like it.
Yeah. And Rose is also apparently, like, has a concussion like, throughout all of this. And she's got blood, and so Dimitri's like, can you just clean up? Like, I'll wait out Sonia. Whatever. Like, you just...
Yeah, like, we can kill her, or at least almost kill her and interrogate her, but don't bleed on her carpet. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, we're still a guest in her home, you know?
Right. I know we just, like, broke through her back door, but, like, be respectful, please, Rose.
Yeah. Oh my god.
This is the upteenth concussion that she's had in the past 2 years.
Yeah, for real.
So not great.
Yeah.
Poor Sydney has to do taking care of her. Yeah, I don't envy her at all.
I hate being here, and this is bad. And also, she says something so funny, because, like, Rose gets a sort of a pull from the bond, and she's like, oh, sorry, hold that thought, I have to go check in on Lissa. And Sydney's like, you shouldn't be sleeping. That's not, like, we need you alert. And Rose is like, it's not sleeping. I'm not, like, I don't get any rest from this.
No, I just astral project. It's fine.
Yeah. Like, I'm not, like, slacking off. I'm not taking a nap or something. Like,
yeah, because Sydney, a little. She was worried, like, please don't fall asleep if you have a concussion. Like, basic first aid shit. But she was also like, we came here for a job.
Right. Yeah, we have to
don't fall asleep.
Yeah. And so we go into...
The bond is what is important here.
Yeah. We've got a trial. Just waiting to start. For the throne. And it is some, like, Survivor fucking challenge shit. Where all of the, like, nominees or whatever, including Lissa, are gonna be, like, just randomly dropped off in a location in the forest, and, like, you get a map, you get a compass, and, you know, just find
and that's
the X on the map and then just vibe there until, like, daylight. Which, okay, sure.
It is it's like their version of Naked and Afraid.
Yeah.
Where they get a map and they can use their magic, but then that's it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I see now why the television show made this a lot more engaging. Because I can't imagine this in the TV show.
Yeah, this was quite boring as far as challenges go. Because it's literally just like, walk around for a long time. And then set up a camp. Maybe make a fire. And then just kind of sit there. And that's the challenge. And even still with all that, like, one of the dudes, like, makes a whole big stink about it. And it's like, well, some of us are old, so like, it's gonna be hard to walk. And everyone's like, I mean...
Valid.
Yeah, but also, still, if you want to be the king, maybe we don't want you to, like, die in a year if you can't, like, walk up a flight of stairs or something. Which...
Right.
The guy was being a little bit of a... was a little harsh on it, but, like, I get where you're coming from.
I'm confused about the lore.
Yeah.
Here, because they're doing this in the middle of Moroi sleep, so it's all daylight. and they're just trying to outlast the sun here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Lissa could, like, go out in the sun and it wouldn't feel good, but it would, like, start to make her weak here. And they touch on that a little bit, but, like, apparently all of these people can just go out in the sun, which wasn't what I understood it to be. Like, not like they're gonna disappear into dust, but I thought it was worse than this.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of being retconned a bit, of being like, it's just kind of mild, you know, feeling, which is, like, not really how I understood it. Because, like, also, they were, even in the show and stuff, too, like, had the little, like, black parasols and stuff, you know, like...
The way that I'm trying to understand this now, of this lore, is it's like they're all on fucking SSRIs, right?
Right,
They all have, like, really bad heat intolerance.
Yeah.
Which, valid. I have that. I don't like it.
Sure.
It makes being out in the sunlight bad. But apparently it's not going to kill them.
Yeah. Also, they give everyone like a burner phone. That's like, if you're too much of a pussy bitch to, like, make it through, just call this number and, like, someone will pick you up. Which seems kind of embarrassing.
Rose is very judgmental here at first.
Yeah.
Because she's like, this isn't even a challenge for me, right? Like, this would have been easy peasy.
Right.
The thing that I thought was a little interesting, this trial is still pretty boring, was I had never thought about the fact that this is the first time, really, that Lissa's alone.
Right.
And so she's like, she just has to girl boss being in the woods. And she's never really had to do that on her own before.
Right. And also she's kind of like, we get a little bit more of her being like, you know, everyone's always had to protect me and, like, had to learn how to fight. And, like, I just was, like, sitting pretty, you know. And now I'm just doing this for me. Like, even though I think this whole trial thing is silly and a waste of time and I can be helping more effectively, like, I'm going to do it to prove it to myself that I can do it. Which, like, valid. And also, too, part of this, it's like, she kind of has the worst power or, like, ability for surviving in the wilderness.
True.
Because, like, if it was Christian, like, he could, like, make a fire. Or if you had, like, water, I don't know, you could, like, have water. I don't know. Like, there's, like, other elements that would work. But Spirit, she's like, I'm just gonna feel bad.
Right?
I'm just gonna feel the darkness in me. Which isn't really effective.
The worst thing for me about this was, and they mentioned this a little bit when the candidates were, like, in the van and they were starting to drop them off, was there are a couple of clues that we've put out to help you last through this, but you have to, like, find them in order for that to be helpful. The worst part of this challenge for me would have been the riddles.
Yeah.
Because that's not my truth.
Right. Yeah. I hate a riddle.
I do. I was staring at this first one because this is, like, the only real clue that we get. The rest, Lissa just, like, mentions what she gets. I was like, I don't know. Riddles are my kryptonite. I don't understand them.
Yeah, you just, like, look at that riddle long enough, you're like, fuck it, I'm calling the number. I can't.
Literally. Thankfully, Lissa has a little bit more stamina than I do. Because the like, clues to help them outlast were, like, a water bottle.
Yeah.
And not a parasol, but, like, a tarp kind of thing, and some sticks to make a fire. So, like, literally everything that you need to outlast this. It was fine. It's fine. It's fine. Is what I'll say.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to be doing okay. The only part that I think would have been interesting to see in the television show was when they changed the weather.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit of the Hunger Games, where it's like, it's sunny out, but now all of a sudden it's, like, really cold and rainy.
Yeah. Oof.
But Lissa did fine.
Yeah. She survived. She's good.
She got to use her spirit, like, once, which was realizing that they weren't out there alone. Because that was something that someone else had brought up, was like, are we going to be out there alone? Are there Strigoi? And the person who was setting it up was like, ha ha ha, you'll find out.
Wink.
But then she's like, oh, I just sense their auras. Like, I'll get through this because there's other people out here.
Yeah. It's like, I'm not gonna die out here.
So she did fine. She's fine.
Yeah. Great.
Just seems like a really bad waste of a day. But Alyssa's fine.
Yeah. Like, it seems like kind of annoying and didn't really do much, but whatever.
Right.
And then Rose gets waken up. Because
Sydney's
like,
Sydney
hey.
was like, girl.
Like,
You're sworn enemies here.
Yeah. I was like, I was not sleeping, but what? What is it?
I was just resting my eyes, Sydney. What do you want?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm chill. I'm not tired. And Sydney's like, hey, babe, thanks for... I'm scared. Because there's some two old guys outside, and they look like their vibes are really bad. So
the original disgusting brothers.
Literally the OG disgusting brothers. Victor Dashkov and Bob
Sydney
Robbie.
was like, hey babe, you're wake up from whatever you're doing. Your enemy's here. Go fight him, please. Thanks.
Right. Your sworn enemies here. We invited him in, and now he's drinking tea. So can we hang out?
This chapter went off the rails. I was not expecting this to go this way.
Yeah, something unhinged. Like some jaw was unhinged writing this that kind of went buck wild in multiple different directions.
The first thing that Rose noticed, anyways, was Victor had been face-tuning himself in the dream world.
Literally. Like, making him look
when she sees him in person, she's like, dude.
You look like shit.
Yeah. You're not doing well.
Yeah. It's like, that's not... Ooh, okay.
Very much a catfish moment there.
And so Rose is like, all right, you found us. What's the plan? What are you gonna do? And Victor's like, well, didn't you already get information? And Rose's like, well, I'm trying, okay? Interrogating is actually really hard.
Fucking dude.
Yeah, interrogations are really difficult, so fuck you, actually. And Sonia in the back's like, I will kill literally all of you. Fuck all of you. God.
It's like the first time that she talks, too. And she does her, like, evil monologue of, like, I'm gonna kill you all.
Here's
I'm gonna save
do
you
it.
and Dimitri for last, because y'all have pissed me off.
Yeah. It's like, you guys are annoying, actually, so I'm gonna...
Right.
Yeah. And Sydney shaking in her boots, being like, I hate this entire situation. I wish I was not here. And Victor's, like, chatting her up. It's like, please leave her alone.
Sydney's just trying her best.
Yeah.
She's here by choice. Because Victor was doing the whole thing of, like, I should have known you, Rose. Of course you would take an alchemist and force them to do your bidding. And Sydney's like, I'm here, not by choice, because I don't want to be here. But no one made me come here. So,
right. It's like, actually,
obviously not true. But
I do like being here. Counter to everything, my entire body language and everything I say, but I am here.
I love her. Naturally, like all, Sonia's not evil, but like all Strigoi.
Right.
While this is happening, right, with this little, like, tiff between Victor and Sydney and Rose, Sonia's like, all right, bet, I'm out. Thank you. But I'm going to escape these chains now.
Yeah, while y'all were distracted. I'm gonna snap out of this.
It's not great. It's not a great moment. Because theoretically, Rose is like, okay, well, we can just keep her down and go back to interrogating. But fucking Ricky Bobby comes out of here and he's like, actually, I'm done. This is boring and I'm done.
Yeah.
And he's gonna kill her.
Yeah, charges with a stake. And Rose is like, no, we need her. And
don't you know how interrogations work?
Right. And with the fucking 180, like, 360 no scope, just like,
literally
charges at Sonya and stakes her and turns her back into a Roy.
Okay, all right.
Hello?
It's interesting to have this be described from a third-party view, because last time Rose was, like, in Lissa's head when this happened.
Right.
So she felt the, like, magic TM.
Yeah, like the blinding light.
This time she doesn't know what's coming, and so she just gets thrown up against a wall again. So now she definitely has a concussion.
Yeah.
And sees this all happen. Wild.
Yeah. So that was a choice. And everyone's like, what? What the fuck just happened?
Especially because it seems like Sydney had heard about this but had never seen it in person.
Right.
So she's freaking out.
Yeah.
Dimitri gets to see the other perspective of this, so he's freaking out. And Rose is also like, hello? Okay, weird escalation. Yeah. But apparently, and I didn't remember this, but apparently Robert had done this before.
Yeah, because he was the how they knew that could be a thing.
Oh, that's right.
In general,
he was the one who helped share that news.
Yeah, it was like the legend of, whoa, he did it once.
That's right.
But apparently doing it more than once is not good for you.
Yeah, apparently you can only do it once and maybe come back from it. You do it a second time. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and like Robert's old and like already doesn't look so hot. Right. But especially after doing this, he's looking rough.
There's a moment too where I think Rose looks over at Victor and Robert he's like, apparently he's lost control of like his jaw or something. He's like drooling.
Yeah.
So it's very clear that like this should not happen. This is not something that apparently you can do after a certain age because it just kind of like shrivels you up inside.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was tough for Lissa, right? But she was able to start like coming back from it. And apparently Robert did this when he was younger, but now, no.
Whew.
I do feel for Sonya. Yeah. Her response here is just to start screaming. And not in a like, rawr, be afraid of him screaming, but like, what the fuck just happened to me? Understand why Sydney is doing this, because it's very much Sydney. But she keeps doing the thing that everyone in the court did, where she's like, don't go near Sonya, she's a Strigoi. And Dimitri is like, watch your fucking mouth, Sydney. Didn't you see what happened? Look at her eyes, they're blue now. She can't be a Strigoi. The part that I wanted to get your opinion on was, I think it's later in the chapter, after Sydney is like having a crisis of faith moment, where Victor is like, you shouldn't leave Sonya alone. Like, we need to do this interrogation right now. Don't let her rest. Don't do any of that stuff. Because she, like, things went fine for you last time, and fine in quotes here, right. Because Dimitri didn't want to be a Strigoi. But Sonya actively sought it out.
Right. And so now it's kind of like a very reverse Uno situation.
Yeah, you just took away her having, like, agency and control over her life for the first time.
Right. And so they're all kind of, like, trying to dole out, like, no, you stay with her. No, you stay with her. Like, I don't want to do it, you know? Because Sydney obviously should not be there with her, because Sydney's terrified. And also, Sonya does not know who Sydney is. And Rose could be because Sonya does know who Rose is, but also maybe not, like, the best energy and vibes to be around when she wakes up, or, like, you know, gets back to reality. And Dimitri is like, has had this process happen before, and like can at least be like a guide of like, hey, it's fine, everything's good.
He also seems to... Dimitri, on his own, is kind of also going through a crisis of faith here beyond what we've shared in the past couple of weeks, because he now got to see the other POV of what happened to him.
Right.
And is like, wait a second, that was a miracle. Like, that was beautiful. And Rose was like, yeah, homie, that's what we were trying to tell you before.
Right. Like, this whole time.
Temporary ease of trauma for him, which is nice. This was not...
Yeah, this is such a wild thing to do twice in, like, one book, essentially, like,
right.
Or, like, book and a half, whatever, because it's such a rare event, it was so climactically interesting for Dimitri, because it's, like, changes the whole story and everything. It was like a huge moment, and also felt like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of situation. And now it's like, right. What if we do it again one more time? It's like, okay.
And I don't know that I hate this over killing them outright.
Sure.
What I'm worried about now is it, and again, I'm saying well here, but like it worked well for Dimitri because he didn't want to be a Strigoi. So if we just start doing this willy-nilly to Strigoi, for the people who actively chose that life, what are you actually helping them now?
Right.
Because I'm thinking about, like, what I immediately went to with this was like, oh my god, what the fuck is his name? From the prison, who was, like, in love with Sonia?
Sure, yeah.
Mikhail was like...
Mikhail, yeah.
Thought he'd never see her again, right? So naturally I was like, oh my god.
Right.
But then I immediately started thinking about Christian's parents, who, from what we know, actively chose to be Strigoi.
Right.
And that would, in theory, cause more trauma to Christian to have them be turned back. Because you can't just, like, make up for all that time.
Yeah.
So I have questions. The implementation here needs to be worked out a little bit. But theoretically, when they decide to do an interrogation, maybe they'll get some answers. But Dimitri's like, no interrogation now. She needs sleep. I'm confusion is the main way to put this.
Yeah. Just a lot of question marks.
Yeah. Because Sonia's resting. Victor and Robert are also resting, and Rose is like, I'm going to keep a fucking eye on you two. I don't trust you at all.
Yeah.
What I wasn't expecting is for her to be like, okay, I need to be on guard right now and pay attention. What if I just check on Lissa again?
Yeah, it's like, girl, you just checked it on her like 20 minutes ago. Like, she's probably fine.
Yeah, like, do a puzzle or something.
Yeah. Just fucking relax. And like, yes, we're back in Lissa's head again. Like, she's going back to court. She did her test. Great. Everyone made it except for Ava. So that sucks. She like she called on the phone. It was like, I can't do this anymore. Take me out, coach. And I'm like, okay, great. Lissa like goes back to court to like chill, maybe take a nap or something, Right. And instead, there's a quote-unquote mob waiting. Hello?
I love this Sopranos crossover.
Yeah, like, what in the gabagool? Like, what's happening?
Tony's there, and he's, like, punching his fist into his hand, and he's like, I got beef with Lissa.
Right.
Oh, my God. That would be, honestly, my dream come true, because...
That would be an iconic collab, for sure.
Why, first of all? But apparently, it's less Sopranos and more, like the mob and fucking Beauty and the Beast, where they're like, people are unhappy, but we don't know why, which is not great.
Yeah.
So I have questions. about everything that's going on, and I'm nervous. And I just want Lissa to be able to rest.
Is that a crime?
But apparently it's a crime, yes.
It is. Yeah.
So next week we get to find out about this group of people that are angry, probably not at Lissa, because that would be wild. But just angry in general about the trials. And maybe get the juicy goss from Sonia?
Yeah, maybe we'll get some hot goss.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing, friends. We're like 50% of the way through this book now. Yeah. We gotta start getting some details about what's going on.
Right. I would like some clarity on anything before this book
I would like to have
over.
More answers than questions, but apparently that's too much to ask for.
Yeah, Furrow said, what if we had more questions than ever?
It's my nightmare. Because, ma'am, this is supposed to be your last book.
Yeah, this is the end. So,
right. I'm confused. I'm more confused than I've been in a long time with this book, but it's fine. I'm in too deep now.
Yeah. I'm invested, so.
Right, exactly. We have some amazing patrons to thank. Do you want to start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Kylie Minty.
Ooh, thank you to Alex Dornan.
Pew, pew, pew. Thank you to Mulch Gray.
Mulch. Thank you to Jasmine Anastasia.
Pew, pew, pew. Thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ooh. Thank you to Cassandra O'Shea.
O'Shea.
Thank
you to Katya Karp.
Ooh. Thank you to Hope Castile.
Pew, pew, pew. Thank you to Rachel Ashford.
Ooh. Thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Pew, pew. Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh. Thank you to Danielle Burke.
Pew, pew. Thank you to my mom, your mom,
Ooh.
all of our moms, Kelly Beck.
Woo, Mom. Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Ow, ow. Thank you to Laura Forty.
Ooh. Thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Ow, ow. Thank you to Emily Ozera.
Ooh. Thank you to Jaylene Ivishkov.
Pew, pew. And last but certainly not least, thank you to Ashlyn Vogel.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I have a fan fiction for you.
Okay.
It is by the AO3 author, Homosocial Villain.
Fuck yeah.
All one word. And this is titled Under the Bridge.
Okay.
The summary is, Billy has known Charlie for years. Thinking back on everything they've been through together, it's hard to imagine not having him and his support around. However, one drunken night might complicate everything. Or Billy gets drunkenly hard when Charlie touches his thigh in a cramped bathroom.
Okay.
So, this is from chapter 1. Some weekends, they'd go fishing. Every now and then, they'd catch a football game at each other's house. Sometimes they'd just shoot the shit on Billy's porch while drinking a couple of beers. It was safe to say they'd been best friends for a long time. Some would say they acted like an old married couple. It mostly seemed that way when Charlie would accompany Billy to his checkups at the hospital. He'd had his diabetes pretty under control for the past few years, but Carlisle confirmed what the other doctors said. The chair would be permanent. But Billy didn't mind anyone. He'd walked the earth enough. Besides, he had his best friend by his side to help him up the fucking stairs anyway. Charlie was trustworthy, reliable, and a good listener. In fact, that's usually all they'd do anyways. Sit in silence and listen to the game on the TV, to the rain on the tin roof, to each other's silence, or to the rapids rushing down the river. End scene.
Cute. Okay.
Yeah.
There's
at least 4 chapters of this. It's continuing to be updated as recently as literally today. So if you're interested, please enjoy.
Yeah.
Tell homosocial villain we said hi.
That's what's up.
Well, friends, tell your friends about the show and enjoy the fantastic entertainment that we've provided for you this week of Twitch baking, which I'm going to go enjoy, or old comedy classics.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
get bit.
Ooh.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.